I'd like to remind everyone to please make sure that the cell phones are turned off or onto the vibrating position, please. Also, please be advised that our city council meetings are broadcast on TV on Comcast Channel 99. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilman Harris.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Avery.
Here.
President Eccles is absent today, and our meeting is being chaired by the President Pro Tem, Councilman Cannon. Councilman Stewart is also absent today. Councilman Cannon.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present. The meeting is open for business. I'll ask Phil Swindle to come forward and lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for this wonderful weather. Thank you for the cool air. God, we thank you for the sunshine to remind us that you are the light of the world. Be with these men as they seek your light and your wisdom to make proper decisions for all the men and women of this city, for the employees, and God, for the future of this city as well. Give them the guidance that they need and the confidence that they can have that you have provided them pure and perfect wisdom. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
War Eagle.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and city council meeting on August the 9th. Clerk, will you take the vote?
So moved.
So moved.
I'm sorry, got ahead, didn't I?
Yeah.
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve the minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payments of the account for the week of August the 5th through the 11th.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamation.
He said
Shane,
he
we don't
forgot
have
something,
any.
he'll be right
Do what?
back. He said he forgot something, he'll be right back. I don't know what
Okay,
it
I
well,
don't think we had any proclamations.
We didn't have any? Okay.
Don't think so.
thank you. Unfinished business brings us down to number 8. It's a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 639 Abercrombie Street in District 3. The resolution was tabled for 7 days on August the 9th. What's the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, based on the recommendation of the Building Department, I'm going to ask for an additional 30-day table.
Clerk,
I second that.
will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Number 9, this is time and place is advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 1410 Fillmore Avenue in District 5. The last known owner is Makeda K. Keeney. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case in April of 2010. Been no improvements to the property. There are no permits been approved, and we're asking today for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
I don't know, did Councilman Stewart express any concerns to anybody about this?
He didn't indicate anything to me personally.
Do we need
I
to?
think we probably, on this one here, on everything that's in his district, we probably need to maybe table it for 7 days.
Okay. I'll make a motion we table for a week.
I second that.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 7 days.
The next one's also in District 5. It's a public hearing as a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 631 Turntine Street in District 5. The last known owners are Richard Ash and Jackie Ash. Is anyone here would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Anyone like to speak in favor?
Mr. President, this case involves building remains, the foundation. I think there's some parts of a old patio slab visible there in the picture. We started our case in March of this year. Been no improvements to this. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate.
Yeah, I make a motion that we table this one as well for 7 days.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 7 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 7 days.
Number 11 is our next public hearing. It's a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 107 Maytree Street in District 7. The last known owners are Aaron Nicholas McGuire and Charlotte Gail Henry. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, the second time in the last 5 years we've worked this particular case. We reopened it in February of this year. You can tell in the pictures there have been no improvements. There are no permits on record to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Are there any discussion on this piece
Yes, I
of
want it
property?
noted, and Brian was absolutely correct, and I want it for the record, that we have bent over backwards on this case, given every opportunity to do this house, and it just hasn't come about. So that's why I moved to adopt it.
I know you said you reopening it, so it was obvious
Yeah.
you've done several things on it and stuff. Okay.
They just couldn't come up with whatever was needed to do it. So,
Are there any more discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Number 12 is our final public hearing. It's a resolution ordering abatement of nuisance on property located at 3322 Williams Avenue in District 7. The last known owner is MCM Properties, Rick Merkel, as a registered agent. Is anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, this case involves a burned house. We started our case in March. There have been no improvements. There are no permits to improve, and we're asking for a resolution to abate this nuisance.
The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this piece of property? Clerk, will you take the vote, please?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Number 13, new business. Are there any new business today? We have no new business. That brings us down to 14, department reports, committees, boards. We have none today. Number 15, the citizens' request. Tracy Pondrick, RSVP Director, if you'll come to the mic, please. And if you'll state your name and address for the clerk, please.
Thank you. My name is Tracy Pondick. I'm the Director of RSVP of Etowah County. My work address is 800 Forest Avenue, where our office is in the courthouse. And I really just wanted to come and thank the council today for all of their help with new volunteers. Shane's really been a big help to me right now, but specifically with our tax program. We do a free income tax program every year for people who really don't need to have to pay to get their taxes done and that don't need that rapid refund thing. So we do it free in 8 different places across the county. And the city gives us space at Elliott Community Center to do this every year, and that's such a big help. We couldn't do it if we had to pay for that space. So I wanted to tell you thank you for all that. And then, of course, all of your promotions for earned income tax credit. A lot of people still don't know about that, and that's such a big money opportunity for so many people. And we just need them to get all the help they can. But at the Elliott Community Center, we did 115 tax returns just at that one place. Totally, federal and state returns, we did 2,004 this year. That's a huge number for us. And we got back in federal returns $827,415 to those clients. And that's money that all goes into their pockets. So, you know, you can see how big a help that is in people who may be struggling with money anyway, to be able to get that money. And I have a certificate of appreciation here for the city and for all of your help with our program, and I just want to say thank you. Do you want me to give this to you?
Yeah, I know, Tracy, you know, one time the person from the IRS came back and told us how much money we were losing
Yeah.
in Etowah County. Have you have an update on how much we missed by not doing it?
I don't know how much it was this year. Last year, it was over $1 million. And I don't know how they figure that, but they know who is eligible for the earned income tax credit and who does not apply for it. And it's just one of those things. If they're eligible, you have to ask for it, and you have to put that on that tax return and know to do that. And so many people don't. And it may be that they're filing themselves. And it's really not that hard to do, but if you fill out just the 1040 form, and you can do that by yourself, but if you don't know to fill out that one form for your earned income tax credit, or if you don't know that you are qualified for that, then that's just money
That we lose.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, over $1 million more could be going into our economy
Right.
around the first of the year if everybody would do that. We'll push it again this year.
Okay.
Hopefully, we'll get that down below $1 million this time.
Thank you.
Tracy, I would like to
Thank
see
you.
if you could come back maybe the middle of January when people get started filing their taxes, you know, and
We
maybe
will.
talk to us again and we
We
can get all
will.
this back going.
We will.
All right.
Thank
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
That's pretty, even I can calculate 9% of $1 million.
Yep.
I was thinking that the whole time she was.
While she was talking, I know.
Yeah, but I do appreciate it, absolutely.
I think we all do appreciate everything y'all do for us, and I know the mayor's going to be able to give you a community center again this year, so you can continue down there with that. That brings us down to number 16, remarks by the mayor and council, and I was out last week, and I was told that Mr. Williams needs to go first today, so I'm going to let him go first today.
Thank you, Councilman Cannon, and I appreciate you stepping up where Councilman Eccles would not, so thank you for that. So I only have a couple of items. I do want to commend both the citizens of the city, in particular our young people, and the police department. We've had a relatively, in police terms anyway, we've had a relatively quiet summer. That can't be said for a lot of the cities that surround us. So I am tickled that we have had as few incidents as we've had. I think, you know, we had the opportunity to talk some about what has happened over the summer, and we've had very limited incidents. To be quite honest, I think the couple of incidents that we've had come up involving our young people are ongoing incidents or issues that they've been monitoring for some time, so they're not specific to the summer. So again, do want to commend the young people for being well-behaved and engaged during the summer and not getting in trouble. So that's, you know, we oftentimes, you know, spend a lot of time talking about an incident when it happens, when it's something negative, but I do want to spend some time commending them when they do behave well, and we've got some good young people in the city of Gadsden. I also want to recognize the folks that have committed to and supported the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life event in Etowah County. I think they raised $125,000 this year. Not sure where that compares to last year's event. And for those of you who don't understand that, that is an event that's held annually. Several local volunteers will step up to raise money. Several local companies will match these contributions, and of course, the Relay for Life is a 12-hour event, typically an overnight event, where they actually raise awareness and money. So again, $125,000 was the number this year, And I do want to congratulate them on that and encourage them to keep up the good work. Cancer is a very cruel disease. I've lost at least 2 family members to that disease. It is a very cruel disease, and much research and much effort and much money is needed to continue to fight it. The last thing I have is the youth explosion that many of you know by now that I've been working to support and at some level give some publicity. So again, September 17th is the date at the Gadsden City Auditorium. We've been able to secure a number of very good panelists that are going to support us. The group is working very hard to make that event a reality. There's a lot of buzz, and we're excited about it. So stay tuned. More information will be forthcoming as it relates to that event. That's all I have.
Councilman Harris?
Thank you, Councilman. Yesterday was, excuse me, first day of back to school, and I hope all the kids had a wonderful experience. You know, we had the Million Man March event yesterday where men were encouraged to take the children to elementary schools, and my understanding is this program was very successful. They had good participation. I know I was at Donahue Elementary School, and Dr. Toles was very pleased with the turnout that she had yesterday with men supporting their children in school. I encourage all the men to get involved with your children in schools and other activities. It's amazing how much difference it makes with a child when there's a male role figure involved with them in their lives. This past Saturday, back to school, stay in school event was held at the Carver and sponsored by the Greater Gadsden Housing Authority. There was a very good turnout there. Everybody's to be commended for their cooperation. The parents were there with the kids, and they had a wonderful time. A good program, and it was a good event. Another one of those programs where we're trying to encourage parental participation with your kids. Back to School, Stay in School was sponsored by the Greater Gadsden Housing Authority with help from SCLC and NAACP and some other organizations. So continue to encourage you to support those kids in those facilities. The Sickle Cell Walkathon is coming up. October 8th is the date that the Walkathon is being held. I'm going to encourage everyone in the Etowah County to participate and support this program. There will be another planning meeting this Thursday at the senior building at 6 o'clock. For those of you who are interested in participating and becoming a part of this event, I encourage you to be at the Senior Citizens Building on Thursday of this week at 6 o'clock. And the other thing that I have is that there's a bass anglers tournament coming up this weekend. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Professional Bass Association, Professional Anglers Association. But anyway, it's a 3-day event, and there'll be a lot of people in town for this fishing event, which is a great event for us. So I encourage you to be on the lookout for all those guys with all those boats coming into town. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Reed?
Yeah. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong on this. The Boys and Girls Club art showing, isn't that tonight at 6:30 on South 4th Street? I thought we ought to announce that because they're expecting a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, if I'm wrong, it'll be too late by the time the television goes on. But I'm pretty sure it is. And I did send an apology, well, not exactly an apology, but by Captain Jaggers this morning to the police force down below for Saturday night's situation. They did an extremely good job under the circumstance, and I sent them a message by him this morning. That's all I have.
Councilman Avery?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a couple of things. One is the announcement about my district meeting that's normally this Saturday. Due to a number of things that have come up this week, I won't be having my meeting this Saturday, but I will have it next Thursday, August the 25th. There are quite a bit of things going on this week. As a matter of fact, Thursday, I would have normally had it, but I'm going to be in Tuskegee at a 100th birthday party celebration of a young lady. And so I won't be able to have it Thursday, and then the same thing on Saturday. Some other things will come up. But it'll be next Thursday, the 25th, at 5 p.m. at the Carver Community Center. So I appreciate the media helping me out on this. I just come back from a meeting in Texas dealing with a number of issues, and one of the main issues, of course, is ethics. And I thought that was fitting that that problem is going on all over the country. And hopefully, you know, we've had a number of things changed here in the state of Alabama, and it looks like, based on the conference I just come from, the things are changing all over the country in state legislatures on ethics. And hopefully we're going to be able to present a better front to the public when it comes down to us from a standpoint of elected officials being very ethical and being very practical and doing things that's for the people and not necessarily for themselves or personal attacks. I think we had a little discussion about that upstairs a few minutes ago. The other thing that was on the agenda that was that hit home too was redistricting, and of course, Mayor, we've got that coming here too, and I look forward to what we're going to be doing here in the city of Gadsden when it comes down to redistricting. I do want to say that, you know, we need to be very mindful of the fact that Alabama is one of those states that falls under the jurisdiction of the Justice Department Voting Rights Division, and we have to be very mindful of the fact that we have some rules and regulations and some laws that we have to follow when we come down to that redistricting plan. So I'm excited about that. I understand that there's been several plans on the table, look pretty good. I have several plans that look better. And so we're just going to see what happens here in the next month or two or so whenever we get those plans from the administration, and then the council will have an opportunity to look at some plans. But I'm excited about that. Again, you know, I think Bill is in Montgomery at one of the committee meetings today. I have one Friday, which is the Fair Committee, and that brings me to the other issue that we discussed, and that was the state of the country and what happened in Washington the last few weeks and how it has affected local municipal governments. And believe me, it's affected everybody, state and local governments all over this country. And there was a big, big discussion about that. And we've got some things that we've got to tackle here locally. You know, we've got some bleeding going on in this city. I venture to think that we're probably the only city in the state where when you reach 65, your insurance still is the primary. And I double-checked that this morning to be sure I was correct in making that statement. I don't know of anybody or any company or any governmental entity anywhere that still happens or that still go on. So, you know, that's bleeding. And somehow or another, we've got to cut that bleeding out. There's a number of other issues, and I guess it's going to all come up real soon. Let me also make the announcement that there will be a finance committee meeting on Monday to deal with some of those issues. And I guess I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I want people to understand, and particularly employees, because I've had a lot of calls from both police and firemen as to what we're going to do. We're going to do what's best for the citizens of this city. And they need to understand that. It has nothing to do with any personal, whether it's the police, firemen, or city employees. We've got to answer to, I think the census said we got almost 40,000 people. We got to answer to all those 40,000 people, not just the 500 or 600 city employees. And the decision we make is going to be based on what's best for those 40,000 people, because they put us here to be good stewards of the funds and the monies, and we've got to look after that. Otherwise, we're going to be like some other municipalities around the country that are filing bankruptcy, that are laying off half of their workforce, or doing away with their pension plans and the whole 9 yards. And we're going to be better than that. So hopefully whatever we do on next week, the citizens of this city would be proud of us, and we just got to deal with the issues. Just wanted to make that statement right quick. That's all I have.
Mayor?
Yeah, I would like to, excuse me, piggyback a little bit on what Councilman Harris said. First of all, Dr. Woods, the principal at Donahue, had brought this to us a week or so ago about the Million Man Father March, taking your children to school. And I save articles, and I look back, and I have one here from probably back around Father's Day. It was printed in the Gadsden Times to tell you how important it is not only to take them to school, but to be involved. It says, dadsworld.com calls itself the world's leading website for dads, and it offers these numbers. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. 63% of teen suicides come from fatherless homes. 85% of all youths in prison come from fatherless homes. 90% of all runaways and homeless children are from fatherless homes. Even in high-crime areas, 90% of children from stable two-parent homes where the father is involved do not become delinquents. dadsworld.com statistics, and there are many more cited if you want to go to that. The Kids Count Data Center doesn't list yet the 2010 census information on number of children in single-parent homes, but in 2000, Etowah County had almost 6,000 children living in single-parent homes, and the high percentage is figured is situations where the father was absent. The odds are stacked against those children. They will overcome some of the odds, but their struggle on the way will not be easy. And I said that to say this. As Dr. Woods was talking about, even though this event was sponsored by black men, women, men of all races and all faiths are encouraged to be involved in their children's lives. It's not only just the men, but it is a big factor. They're encouraged to take care and be involved in every facet of their children's lives. And that's a real sore spot with me, because I think if you have children, then it's your responsibility till they put you under the ground to take care of them if you're able. And I just think we really need to, we'd like to have volunteers, the schools, the nonprofits. We have a lot of programs that are going to be cut. It's coming down from Washington. It'll hit the state. They're going to pass it along to the cities and the counties, and we can only do so much to keep everything afloat. And any volunteers who want to volunteer for any of the nonprofits or any of the schools, you need to, especially people who are retired and are bored, you need to get involved and help us out, because a lot of older people have a lot of wise experience about the whole world and can pass things along. But kids have got to have math, reading, discipline. If they don't, they get bored. And then they start acting up. And then they get either kicked out of school or they get embarrassed because they can't read, and they quit by the time they're in about the 9th or 10th grade. So we've got to change the route on that, and I would hope that all of you would think about that. And anybody who wants to volunteer, you can call City Hall or some of the nonprofits, and if you can't find one, we'll help you find one. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to announce that I think this Thursday from 6 to about 8 is third Thursday on Broad Street. Is that right, Shane? It is this week, correct? Okay. Okay, I think it is. This is third Thursday this week. The weather's going to be good, so y'all come out and make sure you come to it. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
This meeting of the City Council is adjourned.